Learn to shave by shaving orphans. Learn to shave by shaving orphans. What's the interpretation of it? What do you think the Libyans are saying?
Learn to shave by shaving orphans.
Yes.
Okay. No wonder somebody texted me and told me, remember the proverb of the day. I was like, what do you mean by that? I should listen to Spice FM more often. But back to the question.
Now you get it?
Now I get it. What I would interpret that mean, orphans are very vulnerable people.
Yes.
And in their vulnerability, for you to actually manage it, you need to really bring yourself down and feel them. And by that, when you're shaving them, you should consider all the factors about this particular orphan, because they are needy, they don't have a parent, and they're just telling you, my interpretation, be more human. If you want to do good, start with the needy. That is how I'd interpret it.
Beautiful.
You put it very well. Yeah, it resonates.
Yeah.
At least with me, it resonates.
Yeah.
And it's very, very true. So now, because we're going to talk about refunds of cash bills and the collection of surety, let's first of all start. For those who missed the class on that day, just a quick introduction. What is bail? What is bond? What is surety?
In fact, I just thought I was going to start with refund of cash bill because I know my colleagues were here like maybe 3 weeks ago and they talked about it.
Yes.
But anyway, just a highlight on it. Cash bail and bond and surety is what the court guarantees that you'd come back. And actually, you don't really have to pay cash all the time if you're a known person. For example, myself, if I go to court today, God forbid, because I'm known, I should not pay cash bill. But in the event you're not known by the court, it is to ensure that you come back. So it's the money that you paid to come back, or you give your title deed or a pay slip, or somebody who's going to ensure that you come to court, because that is the essence, you coming to court. So that is what it is.
So cash bail, you pay it in cash?
In cash, yes.
What is bond?
Bond, now you either bring a logbook, a title deed,
some property,
or a pay slip.
Okay.
Just somebody to guarantee that in the event that you don't show up, either my title will be forfeited, my vehicle, or I'll have to pay that amount that the court says to the court.
Okay.
Surety?
Surety. Yeah.
Yes.
What is it?
Surety is the person or the title that now will ensure that you come back to court.
Okay.
Is somebody else?
Yeah, it has to be another person.
Okay.
Not you.
So, if I can just do, if the magistrate in court says, we're going to release you on bail of 50,000 shillings with a surety of the similar amount, this means that another person will stand with that amount as well.
Not separately.
Not separately, together.
But against that 50,000.
Okay.
So I'll come with my payslip and say, yes, I'm able to stand surety for this person. In the event this person doesn't pay or show up in court, I will pay the 50,000.
Okay. And
that's why the surety.
Okay. And more often than not, the surety is usually pronounced when bail or bond is being requested.
Yes.
Okay.
Often. Always, actually.
So
you have an alternative.
It's and or.
Yes.
Okay.
Not and or, it's or.
It's or.
Yes.
Or. Okay.
We can't take
or a
both.
surety. Or a surety of a similar amount.
Yes.
Or a surety.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the accused person has appeared in court. At what point do they qualify for a refund?
Wonderful. Now that's where I show up.
Stomping ground.
Yes. Now, when we pronounce a sentence, in that either you'd be acquitted or convicted. At that time...
So it's the end of the case?
The end of the case.
Okay.
So at that time, that money becomes free for you. Either the person who deposited or the accused person. More often than not, it is somebody else who actually has deposited that money. Because remember, as you said, you'd be somewhere in the... cells,
in the holding.
And you have no airtime.
Yeah.
So, yes. So other people would pay for you and then now you'd come out. So when the case ends, you're supposed to get your money back automatically. Yes, because we don't need it. Unless now you move the court and tell the court, I don't want that money. You have fined me, let's say 50,000. Use the 50,000 that I had deposited as my cash bail so that I go home. And then we convert now that your cash bail to fine.
Okay.
Yes.
When I paid my bail or my surety appeared, I was then allowed to walk free.
Yes.
And just appearing in court. Okay? So I've been, doing my other things. Throughout this period, whatever I deposited is still in court.
Yes.
If it was a title deed, if my case is 10 years long, that thing is not coming out until that case is concluded.
Correct.
I cannot dispose of this piece of land, of this motor vehicle, for those 10 years.
Yes.
So if I stand surety for somebody, and I give in the logbook for my vehicle, I have basically committed myself to their case for the duration of their case.
Correct. Yes.
Do people know that?
They do know that. We actually inform them when they are depositing their surety.
Okay.
Yes. We make them aware.
What if now something happens in between? Let's not even come to the end of the case. Gari imepata accident, imekuwa write-off.
Wonderful.
Book on a logbook.
Tutabaki na hiyo logbook. Yes, that's a scenario. We'll still remain with the logbook. However, in the event now this person runs away, that is the time now we'll realize, actually that vehicle is written off.
We're holding
something useless.
Worthless piece of paper.
Yes.
Is there a requirement to report?
It is. You have to report at that particular instance.
Okay.
So when this thing becomes worthless, piece of paper, I should come to court and say, by the way, that logbook you're holding, it's no longer valid, which means I am coming to say, instead, I'm giving you something.
Yes.
That's the law requires me to do that.
Yes. You're supposed to do that. Otherwise, if you skip bail and we come for your vehicle and the vehicle is not there, we'll hold you accountable, especially the owner. The accused person really doesn't care about your property. It is your property that you should be reporting to the court.
Okay. So you mentioned that whether you look at somebody being acquitted or sentenced, that is when now you will see this refund of, this bail coming to the individual. So if they're acquitted, obviously the case has come to an end, you get your money, you go. And it doesn't matter the time, because you can have somebody being, arrested for, what's the minimum felony here that you could see that would require bail? Yeah.
3 years in custody, but now maybe 6 months.
Okay. So, and then also depending on the amount, obviously, depending on the case, that's when you now would then say this is the amount that we're asking for bail.
Yes.
So if a case takes 3 years, that money will be held.
Yes, it's going to be held in the judiciary.
Okay, so the minute that the judicial officer now says, okay, this person has been found not guilty or whatever, then the process begins for the refund to happen. How long does that take?
Now, as a judiciary right now, we are holding a lot of money to the tunes of millions. People don't come back for their money. Remember, the time you're depositing this money, you're rescuing somebody. And maybe you're having your cup of tea somewhere in the village. This person, a whole group tells you, please, let's go redeposit this money. You deposit it. 3 years later, the person has been acquitted or convicted. Do you think you'll go to court alone? So you are taken by a group. So that mentality that I go myself to court, I'm not going. So they abandon that money. Number two, there's usually a receipt. Back in the days, there used to be hard copy receipt, but we have gone digital. So that receipt is lost. So you cannot follow your money because now you're stranded. You don't know how to get your refund. And that's why I'm here today to tell you the processes have improved. You only need to bring your ID card, the receipt. In the olden eras, if you have the receipt, come with it. If it is lost, come with a police abstract and an affidavit stating that that receipt is lost. And also come with bank details so that now we deposit your money. It will only take now guaranteed 14 days because we have automated the process and it is at a click of a button. So come for your money.
When someone is sentenced, they also get their money back?
Yes. You get your money. Because you see now, the person, if that money is not used to pay fine, let's say you have been sentenced for a custodial sentence and not without an alternative of cash bail.
Of a fine.
Or refund. Yeah, so you get your money back. Yes.
Okay.
How do you process that? Ako jela.
Remember, the person who deposited wasn't the person who was in jail. It's somebody different, always.
Ah,
Yes.
I see. So even the cash bail
Yes.
was deposited by somebody else
Yes.
on behalf of the accused person. So that other person is the one who comes to collect.
Yes.
Higher. During the course of this case, the surety of the person who deposited bail dies.
Wonderful. It happens.
So now what happens?
Now, in the circumstance that this particular surety dies,
Yeah.
the accused person, it is his honors to say he's passed away and I need a replacement. And the estate of that particular surety, maybe they deposit a logbook, a title deed, they come to court, present the death certificate, and we release that particular title deed or logbook back to the estate. But at this particular moment, you need letters of administration to show that indeed you're beneficiaries
You're the
of
beneficiaries
that
of this. So you have to have your own process of actually identifying, and you have your letters of administration.
Yes.
So that you can come to claim this particular money or documents from the court.
Yes.
Where?
It's a whole process, but you'll get your money back.
Okay. When we're looking at collection of surety,
Yes.
how exactly does that work? I just want to understand that because also now there would be a refund of the same surety when the case comes to an end.
Yes.
Right? So if I go and stand for somebody or somebody stands for me, surety of 50,000 shillings, do we actually have to bring it, or is it something that I sign to say, look, I stand for this person? Or do I have to bring the money as well?
No, you bring a document.
A document? Okay.
Yes, either you bring a logbook if the amount is low, even a motorbike, title deed, or payslip. We mostly take payslips for government workers because they won't run away unless big things happen. So we take original documents of those particular assets.
Okay.
Yes.
So at the time that this case has come to an end, then those documents are also handed over back to this individual.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how is it determined how much the fee will be for bail? I mean, if somebody, I don't know,
Muzua Kuku.
exactly, stole 100 kgs of meat, you know, as we see. How is it determined how much bail will be?
All right.
Or traffic offense, for example.
So we have guidelines. We have the bail and bond policy that guides the judicial officers and judges what amount of cash bail you have. There are parameters. As I said, one of them is the basic is, are you going to come back to court? That is what is key. Then, if you're going to come back to court, how much can I pay you? That's why we look at people. You'd see this person can afford maybe 5,000, then you give them 5,000. Some people, you'd profile them, they can afford 1 million, and then they can't actually afford the 1 million. And then they have an opportunity to come back and say, yes, Your Honor, I'm not able to. Kindly review my bond. I promise that I'll be coming back to court. Then we review the bond terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
When someone says that they stand on their personal surety, can you do that? And when can you claim that? To say that I don't need Veronica, I can do it for myself, in addition to whatever I will pay for a bail. How does that work?
Now, personal sureties, if you're a prominent person and you're known in the village, even one day there was an old man who was brought to court. I looked at him, I told him, Mzee, tutarudi kotini. Akasema, madam, tarudi. I released him on his own personal surety. He didn't pay cash bail, but he just signed a bond. In the event that I do not show up to court, I will forfeit X number of shillings.
How do you make that determination? By looking at somebody?
Yeah. That's why we look at you. We talk about demeanors. You know, they are your people in the village. You know, it's not like Nairobi. You know, Nairobi, I wouldn't do that. They'll run away. But in the village, definitely, they'd come back.
You can see this is a village elder. This is somebody who is known in the community. So they have some form of respect.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're in court, Bwana.
Yeah, they're in court, but they'll come to court. Because you see, they represent people.
It is because they're in court because, usually, it's because there's some conflict with a member of the community.
Yes.
Or the law touching on a member of the community. So
correct.
Their standing in the community is being questioned, and that's why they're in court.
Correct.
Why do you still uphold their standing in the community?
Because you see, all I need to do is you're innocent until proven guilty, number one. I'll have to look at the evidence, then I will convict you. At that particular time, then your standing in the community will change. But before then, your standing remains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. This is an interesting conversation. We'll continue shortly. If you've got a question to the Honorable Wangari Mbulikah, please post the question online, on social, on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, where we are live streaming the show this morning. We are talking about the refund of cash bail and collection of surety. How do you do it? She's telling us that the judiciary is holding money to the tune of hundreds of millions.
I said millions.
Millions. Okay.
Hundreds of millions sounds nice.
The judiciary is holding millions of money, and surety, that's property worth millions of money that has not been collected, and they can tell these are cases that have concluded, and therefore we should have released these sureties, this bail money. People are not coming for it. You'll tell us many of these factors. You've told us two, but maybe there are more factors that are making people not come back for their money. And that's why we're creating this awareness this morning. The conversation continues shortly. It's 7:30.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start.
Seal the deal, power your future, and build your tomorrow at Kabarak University. Our world-class education in law, medicine and health sciences, education, business and economics, science, engineering and technology, music and media, and pharmacy, producing highly competent graduates. The 2024 intake is now open, your gateway to the most affordable, quality education in a serene environment. Join Kabarak University today and step into a future filled with endless possibilities.
With its cottony soft texture and 3 times faster absorbent channels, the new Morphix diapers help to prevent rush. Morphix, comfy like a mom's hug.
Ever dreamed of being behind the scene? Dental tips brought to you by Sensodyne. Brush your teeth at least twice a day. Use Sensodyne toothpaste with a soft bristled toothbrush. Medium or hard bristles can damage your gums and tooth enamel. Always read labels prior to use. If symptoms persist, consult your dentist.
Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protection against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Remember when you were a child and dreamt of what you want to be when you grew up?
I'd like to be a pilot, a neurosurgeon.
I would like to become a chef.
Air hostess. Police officer.
I would like to become an oncologist. What if you lived a day in that dream job? Would you still have pursued it? The Beat Me Career Learning Fair is making those childhood dreams come true. You don't want to miss out. See you on 21st of September at 8 a.m. at Kasarani Stadium.
Is still in there. Watch your left here. Warren furiously trying to close the gap. Kim Yeager can taste victory, but it's not over yet. She opens up a gap. Is it big enough? Can she strike? I think she can. History beckons for the Kenyan captain. Leading from the front, leading by example. Take a moment to savour these images. We've never seen anybody with.
Welcome to the world of casino games on 1xBet. And let the luck be on your side. Slot games on 1xBet, where fortune awaits.
Of this cash bill and a collection of the surety. And the reason why we have the Honorable Wangari Mbulikah this morning, Principal Magistrate, is so that she tells us how you go about it. But first of all, why are you holding so much money? What are these factors that contribute to people not coming to collect the money that they took to court? You said one of them is they did not know that they could collect. Let's just start with the basics. So people, maybe someone just did not know that they could go and collect. What else?
Actually, a task force was constituted by the CJ just to look into this matter. Why don't people come to collect this money? And there were very simple reasons. Number one, they didn't know, because people don't differentiate between cash bail and fine. So most of them would think it was a fine, and therefore that money has gone. And that is why we are creating an initiative for the last 1 year. We've been engaging the courts to actually inform the public, come back for your money, if the suit has been concluded, so they come for it. Number two, you'll be surprised that even advocates, we hold a lot of their money. They have deposited monies in civil matters. Their clients have not come for it. Truth be told, I always like saying the truth. Long time, the processes were really long and tedious. You know, when you guys still have newspapers, I think we abandoned these things.
We make them work.
I don't even know how to flip it. So the process used to be manual. So by the time you go to accounts, you pay. It's a manual process. They have their register. There's a court file that has a receipt. And before it goes round the whole process, you get tired. Honestly, it was fatigue. So now we have automated that process. So at least now it's faster. Number two, you'd lose your original documents. And once you lose that receipt, you'd be like, how will I get my money back? So you forget about it. Number three, because the court process is long, you forget that you kept your money somewhere. And you just don't go back for it. And this accused person doesn't inform you, I've been set free or I'm in custody, come for your money. So it's just information, basically. Yeah, just information.
Okay. Where does the judiciary keep the money when it receives cash bail money?
Wonderful. I was waiting for that question. Number one, that we have different accounts. We have the deposit account and the revenue account. So the money remains in the deposit account. But now we have engaged with the UFA, Unclaimed Financial Assets, who usually now disperse that money. They hold all the monies, the banks submit their money, shares, dividends. UFA holds it. So we are working together with UFA. In the event we fail to find these people, they fail to come, we'll release that money to UFA, and now UFA will continue looking for those people until they get their money. So we are in that transition stage. If we are come for your money, if you don't come for it, we release it to UFA. UFA will continue looking for you.
So it sits in a deposit account?
Yes.
Through the duration of this?
Yes.
Of course, there's more money coming in, some money going out. This account is basically busy and it's running.
Yes.
Is it earning interest, this money?
Now, thank God I can claim, I don't know.
Because
I don't know of anything financials.
When I come to claim, and it's a couple of years later, am I only, if I had posted bail for 50,000 shillings, am I coming to collect 50,000 shillings, or is there going to be a recalculation, inflation, adjustment, and all those things?
It will be the 50,000. Yes. We are not a banking institution.
You're putting the money in the bank.
So the question is what is UFA? UFA is Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, right?
Yes.
And I think we've had a couple of conversations with them as well in terms of what they're holding and to get back to folks. And so this would fall, and some of the money that they hold also would come from the judiciary because of these unclaimed bail. Now, bail is set, like you told us, in order to guarantee that an individual will come back to court, either to face charge or to attend trial, etc., etc.
Yes.
Now, that guarantee that you set, you're basically saying, I myself will bring myself at a later date.
Yes.
If the court sees that you would not come back for whatever reason, like you say, you can look at somebody and tell if this person is being genuine or not, then there is a likelihood then that the judicial officer will not grant bail. So bail can be denied at that point. And what happens is that you sit in remand until the case is heard.
Yes.
Am I right so far?
Correct.
Okay. What happens in the instance when an individual decides, like we see it in the movies all the time, where they decide to jump bail and then just disappear?
We'll find you. Now, at that particular instance, the court will cancel the bond.
Okay.
If it was a cash bail, that cash bail will be forfeited to the state, so it's going to be revenue.
Okay.
If it's a title now, here's where now the surety. We look for the surety because the surety will be easy to find. Because remember, the time you're giving your surety, we collect all the information about you. Where you live, your phone number, your alternative phone number, your next of kin, your village elder, and the mukasa. We have all those details in the file. So we'll go for your surety. Your surety will come, and if the surety fails to produce that particular person, he pays that amount that he said he was going to pay.
Can I take a few steps back?
Yes.
Sorry, please, because I think it's important before you say the next thing is that what would characterize the jumping of bail? Have you said, okay, come on the 19th of September for hearing number 1?
Yeah.
I don't come. Do you give me another chance?
No, right
Such
there.
as Friday the 20th?
No,
I'm supposed to
right
come
there.
on the 19th. I don't come on the 19th. That's it.
You cancel the bail then and there.
Then and there. Instant. And then issue warrants of arrest. So while this particular arm of government is pursuing the surety, there's somebody else now, the police are still pursuing the accused person.
Okay.
And then they are found.
Okay.
Even if it takes 2 years, we'll find you.
What if the person is actually not jumping bail, just like wanting to jump bail, but on this particular day, something happened. They were not able. They are unwell. They were not able to come to court. Something big happened.
Good. And that's why you have your sureties. So you send somebody to court with evidence that indeed this particular person is not able to come because they are unwell. Here is their document. We kindly request for another date.
I was coming to court, Your Honor. I got an accident.
Yes.
On the way, right?
Yeah.
On Mombasa Road, got an accident. Case is 9 a.m. So I'm not in court at 9 a.m.
Yes.
And you read the file. Where is the accused? Not here. And you're saying you're not even going to give another chance. You cancel surety immediately. I'm here. I'm being naongezwa maji.
Will you come back?
Yes, I am willing.
The day when you'll come, you'll explain to the courts.
But you've already
cancelled. I've cancelled, but there's a process before, either if it's cash bail, there's a process that we can still restore. If it has not been forfeited to the state, we'll restore it back. But if it was forfeited, you'll just have to pay afresh.
Okay. So in this instance, that money you said goes to revenue. That becomes judicial revenue?
The government's revenue.
It becomes government revenue. So it will go to that
treasury.
Yeah. Okay. So if an explanation then comes, but you said it can't. If an explanation,
it's over because it's already it's no longer even in our custody at that particular moment.
So, but the case is still alive.
Yes.
The case is still alive. This individual, now it goes back to what you were saying before I interrupted you.
Yeah.
That they cancel that. It goes to
we
revenue.
Get the surety. Yeah, it goes to.
So
revenue.
now you're going back to get surety from. It could be my personal surety. Can you bank on my personal surety if you've cancelled the bail and that has gone towards revenue? Will you still bank on my personal surety?
Yes, I'll come for you. But you see, I remember I told you it's alternative. So it was cash bail, that's different. Money has gone to treasury.
Yeah.
If it is a title deed, I will get now the owner of the title deed. I ask you pay. If you fail to pay, then I will sell your land.
But the case is still alive.
Yeah. But the accused is the accused person. And that is why now, before you stand surety for someone, you must believe in this person.
So what if the accused person then turns up? There's a reason I've been away. There's something has happened.
I said, I got an accident on Mombasa Road. Coming to court. As the magistrate is saying, ako wapi huyu, mimi naongezwa maji hapa mata.
Okay, you see, those are outliers. You see, if indeed you are very sick, then the court will consider.
Okay.
But there are some people who skip bail and they go to Tanzania and Uganda. But these sureties, when they hear their title deed is going to be sold,
they show up.
They show up. In fact, they bring them themselves. They hold their hands and say, Mheshimiwa Njo huyu, in fact, I don't want to stand surety for him anymore. Release me, mweke ndani. And we'll release you, go with your title, wherever. Be the guest of the state.
Okay, you'll be a guest of the state, but let's look at what can happen. Because at the end of the day, we understand that there's justice that would want to be applied, and I think that there are explanations or reasons that somebody would give. How lenient would court be? How lenient would the judicial officer be to say, okay, fine, you went to Tanzania, whatever temporary insanity you had, all right, your bail has been cancelled, you may be in remand. What are the chances of you then reapplying for that situation to say, okay, I will behave myself this time, Your Honor?
Okay, depending. How did the surety describe the situation he had to go through to capture you back? So if it was you're sick, he found you in hospital, like he was sick, he was in hospital, but I don't want this headache anymore, release me. But if indeed this person had to go through Safaricom, trace this person, CID, trace this person, then
we're not
honestly,
going to give you bail again.
Yeah. To malize a case.
So you'll be a guest of the state until we finish the case. Okay. Okay. Not fun. All right. So now, even as we look at as some of these cases develop and you see things like this happen, I want to look at the case whereby you talked, because I'm still stuck on these two, where you talk about acquitted or sentenced, right?
Yeah.
So now, as an individual is sentenced, does all of this cease? This whole, if it's bail, if it's bond, whatever it is, you get your things back and you remain sentenced, whether it is a fine that you will be asked to pay or whether it is a custodial sentence that you will have to serve, all of this becomes history.
We release all of that. Because you see, the purpose was we want you until the day of judgment.
Okay.
So it is a date of judgment. Everything else that was holding you to remain here, to ensure that you're always before me when I need you, we release. You get your cash bail, you get your surety, gone.
Okay. And we go to this money that's being held that maybe goes from the judiciary to UFA. What if it's in the case of somebody having been deceased?
Wonderful. In fact, we'll be very happy to give that to UFA. As UFA waits for the succession papers, then now the people who are beneficiaries will claim it at UFA.
Now, what if in this time where we're still dealing with these bail, bond, surety issues, and the person actually does become deceased?
The surety?
Both.
Or the accused?
The accused or
if the accused
the person who's giving surety?
All right. If the accused dies, the case is over. Because he was the one who offended the state. So there's no case. If the surety dies, then it is the honor of the accused person to inform the court that indeed my surety died and I have a replacement. Here's a replacement. If they don't do that, the estate of now the deceased will actually come to court and say, our father passed away, we want our title deed. And therefore now you'll tell the accused person, get a replacement.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have to come.
Because we're in the society.
We understand each other.
We need some certain clarifications because as far as very many of us know, the justice process begins when you are arrested. Okay, when you just get in touch with the law enforcement officer.
Yes.
Up to the time you're dealing with the prisoner, with the prison officer, you're in the system. But the judiciary has, its step, and the people before and the people after have their steps.
Yes.
Bond, bail, and surety in court are after I have been brought to court and I have been charged, correct?
Yes.
Now, before I was brought to court, I was arrested and the police had given me some bail.
Yes.
Does that involve the judiciary?
No.
Or is that separate?
No, that is police bond and cash bail. So the police actually, those days when we used to handle money, the police would come with a big brown envelope full of money. So if you have acquitted this person who had already paid for police bail for 5,000, he would count that 5,000, give this person, here's your money.
There.
Yeah, then go. Like that. So
what is police bond and bail?
So the police, when they are arresting you, and they need to charge you within 24 hours as per the Constitution, but they're still carrying out the investigation. So they'll give you bond. Go, but the day we want you, you must come.
Okay.
And that's why they're holding that particular cash bail. So when you produce yourself on the day they requested you to do, and then they'll bring you to court, They return your money.
Because you've now appeared in court.
Appeared in court, now the court will now set
now
its own.
You're in the hands of the court.
Yes.
So they've handed you over from police now to court.
Yes.
They give you back your money.
Correct.
Tumemalizana na wewe sasa wewe ni mali ya court.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this determination of how much I'm to pay for police bond or bail, who makes it? Is it in law? Is it the OCS to determine?
It's okay. Due to practice, you'd know.
Police bond, 5,000.
Okay, it's not in statutes, unfortunately. But depending on the area the crime offenders are, they are usually parameters. For example, in my village, Maragoli, if they tell me to pay cash bail of 10,000, that's a long order.
Yeah.
But in Nairobi, I can be told pay 10,000, then you'll pay the 10,000. So depending on your area, they would set the reasonable terms.
Okay. I mean, there are a number of questions coming through, and maybe we'll look at some of them. But one is, and maybe just some kind of clarity, that what is a determinant factor when it comes to then granting bail, and then what is a determinant factor for denying bail in court?
Okay. Let's start with denying. Number one, everybody, the Constitution was reviewed. You're supposed to get bond. But now, the old Constitution, capital offenses do not get bond. That was murder, robbery with violence, automatic. You stay there, we finish your case. It was like you're already guilty.
Yeah.
But now, you all are entitled to your bond and cash bail and surety. However, should the prosecution demonstrate to the court that you're a flight risk, that you're a danger to society at that particular moment, then the court may deny you. Yeah. Okay. But the prosecution must demonstrate those characters.
Okay. And then the judicial officer makes a decision based on those elements. Okay. Yes. So what's the time period between when bail is cancelled and when it is forfeited to the states?
Depending on how fast the court process is in that particular court area. Some people would do it immediately. Some people would drag the process. So depending. Let's say within 5 days, working days, it should have gone to the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is it possible to pay bail or bond? I mean, I think we just went through that now, but I guess a little bit of an explanation. At a police station.
To pay?
Yes.
Yes, you pay.
You pay at the police station?
Yes.
Or you can pay at court?
No, there are two.
Okay.
When you're in the custody of the police, you pay the police. Oh, things are happening here.
I know.
Don't worry.
You pay the police, and that is called police bond. However, now when you come to court, you pay the judiciary.
Okay.
Yes. And we do not accept cash.
Not the same.
They're not the same.
They're not the same, and we do not accept cash. You pay through the account number.
Oh, hang on a minute. What's the difference between the two?
What?
Police
bond and the judiciary
court bond.
Yes. Now, police, you're in the custody of the police station. When you've been arrested, they still want to carry out investigations, so they give you. Mostly in traffic cases and even these other crimes, depending on the length of time they'll take. So you pay, they release you, you come back, they return your money when they bring you to court. Or they return your money when they see there's no probable cause why we should take you to court.
Okay. So you can pay a police bond and go to court.
Yes.
Then the court can actually say that bond that you paid can now be released to you after we've done 1, 2, 3.
It's automatic.
Okay.
Police bond, once you bring your body to court, the police, they give you your money.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
All right.
Then now judiciary will set its own bond terms, and then using the money that you have been refunded by the police, depending on how much, now you can use it to pay the judiciary.
You choose whether you want to use it to or not.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go through the process of claiming.
Yeah.
So case is over. My person has been sentenced or has been released, and I'm the one who had placed. Let's start with the surety or with the cash bail.
With cash bail.
I'm the one who had posted the cash bail.
Yes.
100,000 shillings is in court. I have everything. I have my receipts. I have everything. Take me through that.
Now, once we receive your receipt, your ID, in case you've lost it,
so I have
and
to
bank
come
account,
to court.
You have to come to court.
So walk me through, where am I going in court?
When you come to court, you'll go to the registry and leave your documents with the registry. So when the registry will process it, Now these days we are digital. We'll put it in the system. Like this person wants to be refunded. Then now it will go to accounts. Then now accounts will feed in your bank details and all that, and money will come to you.
Within how long?
14 days maximum.
So within 14 days of me lodging my claim,
yes,
I should receive my money.
Yes.
Okay. I have lost one of the documents. I don't have an ID. I don't have a receipt. I have lost one of the things.
Yes.
Now,
if you've lost your receipt, you'll have to go and get a police abstract. Here you can get it at Huduma, anywhere, in the nearest Huduma or police station, and an affidavit from a lawyer swearing that indeed you really lost your original receipt.
Judiciary doesn't have a copy
of the...
in the system.
No, the new system, yes. But the old ones that you have to bring. But in the new system, we are automated. You're good to go.
So in the new system, what do I do?
So in the new system, what is important that we are lacking are your bank accounts, and then come with your ID, just to verify that it is you who's now requesting to pay.
Okay.
And then now we'll process.
And in the event I don't have an ID, can I come with a passport?
Yeah, yes, your passport will identify you.
If none of the two, can I come with my Huduma number, Huduma card?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else.
My driving license. Driving license.
No, we don't.
It's a smart one. It's from the government of Kenya.
Okay, I need to verify with my accountant.
Okay.
That one.
But in the event I don't have any of this, then I come with a police abstract that I've lost my identification document, and that's good enough.
But you have the copy of your ID somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Or maybe not. But I haven't.
How are you surviving in Kenya? We should be arrested.
I walk around with an abstract. So if I have an abstract and I don't have a copy of the ID, do I then need the affidavit?
Passport. Then you'll need your passport. We need a document to identify you.
Okay.
Yes.
Now the same applies for claiming of a surety.
Yes, same process. Yes.
And then the document will be released to me. Now it's not being taken to a bank.
No, this will be the title deed will be released to you directly.
So I have to come back. They'll call me when it's ready.
No. That one is very fast. Because see, the document is already with us. So it's just you to identify yourself. We take you through the motions. Then now we give you back your title. Yeah.
Same day.
Logbook. Same day.
Okay, so let's see that you've been in custody in the cells, because this process before you pay bail or whatever, you're not just allowed to roam free. We know that.
Yes, in the court cells.
In the court cells.
Yeah.
But usually, if we talk about the situation on the ground, usually there are some interesting games that happen there, so that you can either stay another day and there's somebody who's waiting for you. How do you deal with the situations on the ground in reality whereby there's deliberate delays? Because we've heard things like this over and over again, where there's deliberate delays. You want to pay, there is no place, somebody has sent M-Pesa you can't remove and somebody's guard over. How do you deal with the actual situation on the ground to make sure that these processes, as you make sure, and that there is proper access to justice, that these are seamless transactions, these are seamless processes whereby Mheshimiwa has said, look, grant it, move, and it's 12 noon, but we still find people at 4 p.m. can't get anything done. How do you deal with that to make the process seamless?
Thank you very much. Number one, we've gone automation. So if you have your money in your M-Pesa account, not that I'm promoting Safaricom, or Airtel account, or maybe the loop that you talked about, I don't know.
We like loop, yeah.
So you pay. We have posters in courtrooms just showing you how, where, and how to pay.
Okay.
So what would delay? I know there are brokers. So actively courts must check their brokering processes, because people are actually there. It is true. They are there, and people are confused, scared, so they take advantage of those people who are in the cell. But because we've gone automation, you can actually pay even while you're still in court. When the court is pronouncing your fine or cash bail, you can actually be paying. So when you get out of it, you say, I've already paid, and we process the necessary documents to release you. So that is number one. Number two, the court stations must aggressively check their processes individually, which I know they do. So you monitor, walk around, just see how are people.
All right.
Yeah.
It's been a very, very, very good lesson here that we've learned today. Hope that you never have to post bail for someone, because that's a close friend of yours who's actually facing through these things or going through these things or needing to be paid for. But we thank you very much for joining us, Principal Magistrate. The Honorable Wangari Mbulikah is the Principal Magistrate. She's been our guest today, just creating awareness on the process of refund of cash bail or collection of surety. That's been our Justice Thursday conversation. It's 8 a.m. Time for the news.